Hello. All right, we're going to try this again. I am hoping that my friend Destiny will join me here shortly. Today is the first day of early voting here in the state of Minnesota. Early voting is open today through Election Day, which is November. Here we go. Hey, Tia. All right, we're going to try this again. I've invited Destiny. Destiny is an expert on early voting. And so she should be joining us any minute. But Tia, you and I were talking a little bit earlier today about how we like voting on Election Day, which is super fun. Hi, Amanda Schroeder. Thanks for joining. Hello. Amanda, have you ever early voted before? I'm doing a Facebook Live to tell people all about early voting. So here in Minnesota, you can vote early starting 46 days ahead of the election, which is today. And stickers, yes, that's one of the reasons I love voting early is because of stickers. And the old ladies with iPads. You know, actually, like last time at my polling place, they still didn't have the iPads. So it was like cute old ladies who were still writing in cursive in spiral bound notebooks. It was pretty cute. And that is one of my favorite things. And I really love election day voting too because I get to meet my neighbors and sometimes talk to them about what's going on in our community that people are feeling pumped up about and that they want to vote for. I know when I go to my polling place on election day and those election judges are there with their little notebooks and or their iPads and they are giving their time up to make sure that the rest of us have access to voting. It's really sweet, and it is really sweet when they're like little old ladies with iPads and you can tell that they're just like super pumped up about the idea of voting. And a lot of those ladies like are still around and still even remember like, you know, voting wasn't a thing. Okay, so where is Destiny? We're supposed to be having Destiny join us here and she's still not on here. What is going on? Tia, do you want to join? All right, well, I'm going to flip this and show you guys my computer. Flip. So here's the Secretary of State's website. Oh, Destiny. So nice of you to join us. So if you, I posted a link on the post. Okay, here, Destiny's going to join us. Adding her.
Okay, I think we're together now. Hi.
Hello.
Hey.
Oh, here we are. All together. The technology is working.
That's amazing.
All right, so I've just kind of been like rambling about how come I love voting on election day, and I've never been an early voter. But Destiny, have you ever early voted before?
By ballot, not like at my local election office, just a mail-in ballot type thing.
Okay. Was it hard?
It was super easy. Actually, my husband Joe and my daughter Scarlett and I all voted together in the primary that way. And it was super nice because all three of our ballots came at the same time. We filled them all out. We vouched for each other and we got them back in the mail the next day, and it was super easy.
That's so awesome. And then, so if you're like somebody who travels a lot, or someone who doesn't drive, or someone who needs more time to look over their ballot or research things, it can be a really great choice. So you don't even have to go somewhere physically.
Yeah, it's super easy.
Once. It's super easy. And then now, too, they have polling stations open all across the state, right?
Yeah, they have polling locations opened in every county office. And to find your local election office, you just go to the Secretary of State's website, which is sos.state.mn.us. Search for early voting, and you can go into your local election office.
So here, you guys can maybe see it. So if you click on elections and voting, there's this page that says other ways to vote. So there's actually 4 ways you can vote that don't involve going to the polls on election day. So you can vote early by mail. That's what you were saying you did before, right, Destiny?
That's correct.
And then you can vote it early in person at any county. What kind of building is it? County?
Your county election office, usually it's in like your county courthouse.
Okay.
But if you click on vote early, it'll give a list of the counties and you can search through where they are at.
Let's do it. Vote early in person. So all voters have at least one location where they can vote early in person with an absentee ballot, county election offices, and in addition, some cities and towns offer in-person absentee voting. So if you go to this website, you can put in your zip code and it will tell you exactly where to go. It's pretty quick. Zach Frank, going to the polling place because it's fun. What's so fun about it, dude? He just likes to people watch, I bet. He's a funny guy, though.
Oh, totally. Yep, Tia says Zach just likes the old ladies.
Just like the rest
Sounds
of us.
accurate.
So, Destiny, you've been door knocking a lot, right?
Yeah, yep.
So what are some of the things that people are talking about when you're knocking on the doors that they're excited about voting over?
A lot of people are talking about healthcare issues and how they want to make sure that Minnesota has healthcare that's affordable for everybody in their family. So that's a big issue in our areas, healthcare and education.
Mm-hmm. You live in Sauk Rapids, is that right?
Yeah, Sauk Rapids.
But you've been door knocking in St. Cloud.
No, I've been door knocking actually in Sauk Rapids because we have a big Senate election coming up in St. Cloud or in the Sauk Rapids area for Joe Persky.
Okay.
So that's going on right now.
So so healthcare, and then one of the other things people have been talking a lot about is education. You mentioned that. What are some of the things that people are saying they're looking for in a governor when they're going to go vote? When they're talking about healthcare and education?
They're looking for somebody who's going to make sure that our education is well funded. Around here, we've had quite a few of levies come up for our to fund our schools because our schools have crumbling infrastructure. There's not enough teachers per student. So we want to start getting more local government aid in order to make it so we don't have to burden middle-class families with higher taxes.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. So I know who you're voting for governor, and so Tim Walz, right?
Yeah, I'll be voting for Tim Walz.
So can you tell me about his platform at all on education? What he says is we need to do?
He talks about how we need to expand early education to more places. We need to fully fund our schools instead of the current formulas that we have right now where we will pass things for like special ed and different programs that are completely underfunded, but they pass legislation saying that they need to have these things in place. So making so if the state says you have to have something at your local school district, that the state's helping to fund and pay for those things, and that's super important to me.
Mm-hmm. You have kids that go to public schools, don't you?
Yeah, my youngest daughter's still in public schools. She's at the high school level.
Cool. The other thing I really like about his platform on education is that he really believes in paying teachers fair wages and giving them fair benefits so we can keep good teachers in our schools. And having quality teachers is a big part of closing the education and opportunity gap, especially if we get out into greater Minnesota, right? Like it's hard to keep good teachers out in greater Minnesota if we're not paying them living wages and we're already having sort of a drain of younger workers from those outer regions coming more to the metro area. So I think, I mean, you know, you and I are both union advocates, union um, activists. So like fair wages is a big deal for both of us. But I think like no teacher should have to be spending their own salary to buy supplies for their classroom, right?
Oh, totally. And that's another thing that Tim Walz is big on is making sure that the licensures keeps up for our teachers, because I know that a lot of schools in the greater Minnesota area have it so now teachers don't have to have the same regulations as other places, as long as you can prove that your school is not able to keep a teacher in that space. And that's been a long time issue up here, is that if you don't have the correct licensure, sometimes you're still allowed to teach that class just because they say that they can't find a teacher who has that license.
Mm-hmm.
And if we increase the wages and made sure that there were benefits for teaching out in these outstate areas, then we wouldn't have those issues.
Yeah. I mean, so we're door knocking for Tim and Peggy a lot, but we've also been like talking about a lot of the other. I know, right, Tia? It is absurd. A lot of the other candidates that we've endorsed who are, you know, mostly DFL ticket, right? Like the AFSCME
Mhm.
endorsed candidates are Democrats. So I'm super excited to, I don't know if I'm going to early vote. We were talking about like, I really like election day, but what do you think you're going to do this time? Are you going to early vote or are you going to go on election day?
I'm going to early vote because I'm usually out doing a lot of GOTV work on the day of elections, and it's just one less thing I have to worry about that day. And another thing is, we live in uncertain times. I want to make sure that my vote gets counted no matter what.
Yeah, totally. And like we said, you can vote early in person or by ballot. If you are in the military or abroad, there are ways to vote. And you can even click this handy dandy track your absentee ballot, put in your name and information, and it will tell you where in the process one. So like the Minnesota Secretary of State, Steve Simon, who we've also endorsed, has made it super duper easy for us to make sure we vote. Like there's no excuse anymore. You've got 45 days left after today to get your vote in before election day.
Exactly. Well,
Cool.
and another really neat thing on the Secretary of State website is that you can also check out your ballot early. So you can
Mm-hmm.
print it off and be ready to vote when you get there. So that way, if you don't know who the local judges and stuff are, you can research that before you get to the polling place, which makes it super easy.
Totally. I'm going to click on what's on my ballot. So you can view your sample ballot. Just click on view your sample ballot and then put in your zip code. Okay, well, you guys don't need to see my address. So
Yeah, it's super easy. You just click on, you type in your name, your address, your zip code, and it'll come up. It'll show your polling place and a sample ballot. So you can even print those off. I know I've done that before for relatives and help them like with who's who on the ballot, and it's nice.
yeah, when we were doing GOTV for the primary, I had saved this link in a note on my phone. So every time somebody was like, I don't know what to do about voting, I would send them to the Find Your Polling Place and the sample ballot and be like, well, okay, plus askmemn.org/vote is where you find a list of all of our endorsed candidates. So like those 3 links make everything super duper easy.
Completely.
All right. So, Destiny, thank you so much for coming on here and doing a little Facebook Live with me. It's been super cute and fun.
Yeah,
I
thanks
like
for
your haircut.
talking to me. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it looks good.
It highlights all my grades. See that?
I think, you know what? It's gorgeous. It's perfect. It's perfect for you. So okay, I'm gonna let you go so you can get your weekend started because it's 3:15 on a Friday. I mean, everybody should be getting ready to savor that weekend and say thanks for the weekend unions.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to check out then. I will talk to you later, Trisha.
All right. Thanks, Destiny. Have a great weekend.
Bye.
Bye.